The state of Missouri is being sued by Planned Parenthood. To fully understand why, we have to go back to 2022 when Roe v. Wade was overturned by Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Center.
We're outside the Supreme Court after the landmark decision that overturned Roe v. Wade and ended a woman's constitutional right to an abortion.
At the Supreme Court today, an historic upheaval. In a sweeping ruling that overturned a half a century of precedents, 5 justices ended the right of American women to choose abortion under the Constitution.
Missourians put on the ballot an amendment to the Constitution that would formally recognize the right to an abortion as a constitutionally protected right.
In November of 2024, the amendment was voted on by Missouri citizens and won with really only a narrow majority of 51% in favor of putting abortion in the Missouri Constitution and 48% against.
So what that means now in Missouri is that the right to have an abortion is a constitutional right.
As soon as the amendment became part of the Missouri Constitution, Planned Parenthood sued the state of Missouri and several of the officials in the state of Missouri in charge of the legal side as well as the regulatory side in regards to health and safety standards.
The restrictions that Planned Parenthood and the ACLU are challenging range from things such as a 72-hour waiting period to ensure that a woman is not being pressured or forced into an abortion, to make sure that the woman knows and understands the decision that she's making.
Whether or not they have clean floors, clean instruments, their doctors are licensed and able to admit a troubled patient in need of care to a hospital.
That is strictly for the protection of the woman in the event that things go wrong.
So the standard of care for women, Planned Parenthood cares nothing about. They see any sort of denial of access to abortion care as being something that harms women. The state of Missouri's primary legal argument is that the fact that abortion exists in the state per the vote of the people, that doesn't mean that Planned Parenthood gets to skirt every single regulatory law that would require them to have safe and sanitary conditions for any of their patients. The ACLJ is involved in assisting Attorney General Andrew Bailey in this case because we think that it's a righteous fight. And Attorney General Bailey is a righteous warrior for the pro-life movement and for the protection of women and children, as are all of the attorneys general that we've worked with. We're involved in this case helping to defend the state's witnesses to eventually take those witnesses to trial and be involved at the trial level with the Missouri Attorney General's office.
Another provision that is being challenged by Planned Parenthood and ACLU and like-minded organizations is a restriction in place that prevents the medical provider from performing an abortion when the patient comes in and says, I want to have an abortion today because my child is going to be a girl or a boy, or because I've been told by a test that my child may have Down syndrome.
I want people to see the beauty with a little something extra.
What's that something extra?
Because I have Down syndrome.
Children with Down syndrome and families who have a child with Down syndrome, who will tell you over and over again, this child is a blessing to our family. We would not do it any other way. We are so glad that we did not have an abortion. And these children are living full and abundant lives.
My name is Gabriel, and I am God's messenger. I've done 17 triathlons.
All the way up, all the way up. 1, 2, nice.
Try to keep myself active and try to do everything in my power to try and get things done. It should help me to get stronger and be powerful and try to get me into the finish line.
This man has just brought so much joy into our family. At 24 years old, I get home from work and he's still so excited to see me. That'll never go away.
I'm looking forward to get my brown belt in Taekwondo. I just got my purple belt, but I'm really excited to get my brown. I just had my first recital, and I played 2 songs, and actually I got a Superior Plus what I said, so I'm excited for that.
The miracles that we are witnessing through him, we would never see if we didn't have him. And not only the miracles, but the joy and the fun. He has taken us on more adventures than we would have ever dreamed we'd be going on. So we are so thankful. I wouldn't trade this life for anything.
I really do have a happy, full life ahead of me because I actually love my family because they love to support me and cheer me on.
Gabriel's life is a perfect example of the life worth living. And that is why ACLJ fights for life.
There are countless reasons why Planned Parenthood can't win this case in Missouri, but a couple of them, the primary ones would be first, their case is shockingly weak. They can't say that they are a medical facility providing medical procedures and then not be subject to the same laws and regulations that govern medical facilities. They can't have it both ways. If Planned Parenthood gets to a win in Missouri in regards to pro-life laws, then it is exceedingly easier for them to overturn pro-life laws in other states. So every single time, they get a chance to refine their argument if they win. We can't let them do that.
For ACLJ, fighting for life has always been a foundational principle of the organization. What that looks like now, that the decision is being left to every state, is that ACLJ is coming alongside those states that desire to protect life and provide whatever support they need, whether it is in the form of education, drafting of legislation, and even litigation support, which is what we're currently doing in Missouri.
On behalf of the ACLJ attorneys, we are so thankful for our members, for our donors who allow us to be able to take on these fights against Goliath, to be able to topple the giant of Planned Parenthood and its lies, its insidious nature, its deception to the American public. Because of our members, because of our donors, we get to tell the public the truth.
I would love for the majority of our nation to stand up for life and to stand up for what is true and what is right, which is that every life has value. Every boy, every girl, every child with Down syndrome, and it's worth fighting for.
It's an honor and a privilege to work for the ACLJ, considering its 35-year commitment to the pro-life movement. It's a privilege to be able to continue this fight on behalf of the state of Missouri.